Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be looking at tonight's projected lineup against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yes, we are playing them for a third game in a row, 3 games in about 4 nights, and if that's not enough, in just under 2 weeks, we will be playing them for our first game of the regular season. The last 2 games weren't too solid, so hopefully tonight we see a better showing from the guys, actually score a couple goals, and have a real entertaining game. Now anyways, without wasting any more of our time, let's get into line number 1 for tonight's game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Coming in on the left wing, you know it is Cole Caulfield. Centering him, we have Nick Suzuki, and finally on the right wing, our new tryout, it is Josh Anderson. We're going back to our roots. We're putting Andy on that first line because nothing else seems to be a great fit. Anderson was always a decent fit, never perfect, but we've seen some improvement in his game in the last year, so maybe this will finally be the year that could be a possible trio. The other night we had Caulfield, Suzuki, and Newhook, and although that was a pretty good line, I did find that they missed a bit of size, and Anderson could easily fix that problem. So this is line number 1. It's going to be pretty decent, and let me tell you, Josh Anderson, he's scoring a goal tonight. Book it. He always scores against the Leafs. Now moving on to line number 2, and this is the third time that we've seen this line combination. We have Raphael Harvey-Pinard on the left, centering with Kirby Dach, and Juraj Slafkovsky on the right. A very solid line, and I'm quite happy that they're putting them together one more time. As of late, Kirby Dach has been easily one of the best forwards on the ice at all times. He always makes his line better, and that's the kind of center I want next to Juraj Slafkovsky, and we've seen it work. He almost scored last game, he scored the game before, all because of Dach. So, this is a pretty solid line number 2, and I'm real happy that they're giving it a third shot. You always know what you're getting with Raphael Harvey-Pinard, hard worker, got some good skill too, always doing the right thing. Kirby Dach, continues to just develop beautifully. And then you got Juraj Slafkovsky, hopefully continues to adjust to the North American style of play and be able to transition into an NHL player. Now that does it for the top 6. Moving into the third line, and this is the Veterans Hospital here. You have Tanner Pearson, Sean Monahan, and Brendan Gallagher. Honestly, would not even be surprised if at the end of the game, all 3 of them were all out with injuries because this is a very injury-prone lineup, but you never know. They might work some magic, and the 3 old guys, they might do some good work here on the third line. We know Sean Monahan could go just about anywhere. Brendan Gallagher still trying to figure out where he places in this lineup, and Tanner Pearson as well, as he's new here in Montreal. And that's going to do it for the third line. Going on to the fourth line, and this is a little more exciting than the third line in my opinion. You have Emil Heineman on the left, Jake Evans centering, and then Jesse Ylönen on the right side. Once again, a very realistic trio that we could see often in the regular season. If Emil Heineman comes out of camp and he makes the team, this could ideally be one of his lines. I would much rather him on the third line, but you know what? If he was playing on the fourth, it's not the worst place for him. Jake Evans has not had the best year last year, but maybe this year he'll play a lot better. And then you have Ylönen, who's still trying to take that big last step of his development, trying to really make him a full-time NHL player. He's been right there, he's kind of on the edge, but he's just missing a little bit of magic. But yeah, that'll do it for our 4 trios for tonight's game. Now we're going to be moving on to the defensive pairings, and starting us off, line number 1, we have Mattias Norlinder with David Savard. Wow, has Norlinder ever surprised us this year? Honestly, last year's camp, he was not noticeable, and I think almost everybody, most people at least, had him written off as a prospect, but this year he's played much better, and I can almost guarantee you that when there's injuries, he's going to get called up and get some games with the Habs. And obviously, David Savard on the right, not much to say about him, but that'll do it for the first pairing. Going on to pairing number 2, I like this one a lot. We have Arbor Xhekaj and Jonathan Kovacevic. Those are 2 big defensemen who love to jump up in the play, and they each bring a bit of extra specialty to the lineup. Obviously, Arbor Xhekaj, fan favorite. This guy, he's going to be so fun to watch tonight against the Leafs. And I'm not sure if Ryan Reeves is playing tonight, but if he is, who knows, maybe they'll meet up at some point. But yeah, that'll do it for the second pairing. Now moving on to the third and final pairing, we have Jordan Harris and Logan Mailloux. There have been many cuts so far, and 2 defensemen that are still there are Mattias Norlinder and Logan Mailloux, 2 guys that have had real good camps, And Mayu's really trying to squeak his way into the Habs roster. It's going to be tough. We got way too many guys, but he's really pushing it here, and he's making it a hard decision for the Habs. Honestly, where we need him most is probably the power play. Our power play sucks. They keep putting every defenseman we have and nobody works, and it doesn't help that Matheson is out right now. So if Mayu gets a chance, maybe they'll use him as the power play guy for a couple of games. And if that works out, that just might be his golden ticket to making the Habs, in my opinion. But yeah, overload of defense. There's going to be a real tough time for him and Matthias Norlinder to actually make the team. But they're having a real good camp this year, and they should be proud of themselves. Anyways, that does it for the defensive pairings. Moving on to the goaltenders, we have none other than Jake Allen, and the backup for tonight will be Caden Primo. Nothing new with Allen. Caden Primo, he's really going to have a good game. I'm pretty sure they split the game half-half. So when he gets the second portion of the game, he's going to have to be on his toes. He's going to have a great game. Or else his future here in Montreal, the days are going to be numbered, I'm telling you. He hasn't been too bad as of late, but he's going to have one hell of a game, or else it might be waivers for him, unfortunately. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight's lineup. I'm pretty excited because, as I said, this is a really realistic lineup that we might see on the opening night. Obviously, a couple players that are missing are Caden Goalie, Mike Matheson, Alex Newhook, Samuel Montembeault, those players that are going to make the lineup, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be one fun lineup to watch tonight, and I'm sure the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to send out their big guns because they haven't done it for the past 2 games. So tonight might be a real fun game. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy, don't be afraid to hit that like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Now, with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Take care.